All right, legends. It's Kirby, Anthony Kirby from the New Home Sales Institute. If you don't know who I am or you haven't followed me yet, then you probably should if you sell new houses, especially because what I'm teaching will definitely help you make more money and change more client lives, and that's why you should be in the industry. Hey, I was just recording a mindset training for our members inside the Sales Every Week program. Thought this might be useful for you guys as well. Two kind of rules that I think are undervalued and understated and underutilized in new home sales right now. First one is transfer of enthusiasm. You got to remember your job is to get them excited about a process that they're scared about. A lot of people have heard the horror stories in our industry. It's our job to steal the market off the established real estate businesses, right? Like, your competitors aren't your builders in the street with you. Your competitors aren't the builders in your town. Yes, to some extent they are. Your biggest competitor, though, is the real estate market. The biggest competitor is someone going, actually, it's just easier to buy a house and I can move in 30 days. So we got to get around that, right? And the way we do that is by the transfer of enthusiasm, the transfer of energy like this. So that's the first thing. Now, how do we do that? Well, first of all, it comes down to your energy, right? Like, you've got to have fantastic energy. And I suppose the first question I would ask you is, when you pick up the phone, when you meet with your clients, when a client walks into your display home, if you're fortunate enough to have one, are you like just sitting behind your desk going like, how you going? Like, where's the energy? That's not going to sell you a house. So, make sure you're taking care of your energy first and foremost. The second thing is your excitement. Like, you should be excited for these guys that they're on this journey of building a house, because your excitement will build urgency. They'll feel compelled to work with you when you're guiding them the right way. And that's really, really important to remember as well. Like, your job is not to sell. Your job is to facilitate. Your job is to guide, okay? The information, I say this all the time now, the information is not sacred anymore. It used to be that they had to come to you because you had the information. They had to visit your display home. They had to visit your office. They don't have to do that anymore, guys. Like, they can just get the information off ChatGPT or Claude or Manus AI. They can go to Facebook and get on the groups, which is, how to build a house, or I'm building with company X, and they can find out all the stuff from the people who are actually going through the process. They don't need you to tell them that stuff. So the reason they're coming to you is not because they're uninformed. They're coming to you because they are informed and they require direction, not information. Okay? So you got to be excited, you got to be energetic, and you got to make sure you're protecting your energy too. Okay? Second thing is you got to remember that you are the creator of certainty in their world, right? They are oftentimes really shitting their pants about building a house. Everyone's heard a horror story. Everyone's watched A Current Affair, which is a program in Australia, if you're watching this in another part of the world, where it often is sharing a story of someone who's not having a very good time. So your job is to create that certainty. And we do that by making the process feel easy for them. So explaining the process in really simple terms, taking what we call big to small, which is, hey, this is a big process. This is how we make it a small process. Do you want to know how that works? Getting them involved and engaged in that process and facilitating that process with them. Second thing is make the next step logical to them, right? Like, we don't want the next step to feel like the end step, because that feels too far away for a lot of people. And if it doesn't feel logical, what it's going to do is what? Create uncertainty. What happens with uncertainty? The uncertain mind will always say no, an uncertain person will never buy. So we have to make the next step logical in their world, whatever that is. So the question you could probably ask yourself as a takeaway from this is, like, what would be the next logical step for them, right? It might be, right now they don't have a block of land, so I need to help them with that. It might be that they've got a block of land, but I don't know what the block looks like, so how can I dictate the design or help them with the design? So perhaps I need to get off my ass, get in my car, and drive to have a look at their block. Third thing you got to do is you got to make the next step easy for them. Now, what does that mean? We've done tons of mystery shopping. I know I've mentioned it in other videos that we've done. It's really disappointing for our industry, the results that we've seen. Quite frankly, we can do a lot better. And, yes, am I biased to say that? Yeah, of course I am. I train sales teams. So, arguably I need that to be the case, that we have people to train. But we can still be doing better even at the basics. One of the things that we heard a lot was, I work on these days. Do you want to come in on those days? And it's like, really? I mean, you're getting paid a surgeon's wage if you do this well. So how about we start thinking a bit outside of the box and kind of removing ourselves a little bit, right? What I mean by that is, be flexible. The person with the most flexible behavior wins. So if someone is, you're making the next step logical, you're telling them how easy the process is, and then they say, hey, we work, really odd hours. Could you meet us after hours? And you go, no, I can't. Well, guess what? Someone else is going to win, because someone else is going to have more flexible behavior. So your job is to make that next step logical, but also to make that next step easy for them as well, right? So that's my takeaway. That's like just 2 simple skills. Just wanted to share this really quickly with you guys. Transfer of enthusiasm, create urgency, just be a bloody legend, basically. So hope that's useful. If it is, let me know. Love to hear from you. Have a great day. See you. Bye.